Yo, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome to another video. Today we've got some interesting topics for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with the future, potentially, of Pokemon. So Junichi Masuda has stated that there is still a shot, right? It's still on the cards that we could see an open world Zelda type of Pokemon game. So let's go ahead and get right into what he had to say to Eurogamer recently. Quote, well, you know, in general, I always want to be kind of facing new challenges and trying to, you know, do new things with Pokemon. You know, it's a different matter whether players will actually enjoy that kind of playstyle, but really, you know, things like setting up an AI so that you know real world Pokemon appear or different ways to appreciate the game. I'm always kind of thinking how to approach the Pokemon series from a different aspect. So in that sense, it's still on the cards, and that was in response to a question about like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey and how those games compare and if Pokemon could potentially go in that route. And I will say, from someone who's always kind of wanted more of an open-ended Pokemon game, not like an MMO. I have not been like the biggest fan of doing like a straight up MMO where you have to pay monthly fees and all of that. That's not something that I'd like to do, although there are MMOs that like there are no monthly fees, like Guild Wars or something like that. But what I'm just trying to say is that I'd love to see more of an open-ended Pokemon game, almost like a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 style of game. Now, I'm not exactly sure what they're talking about here when it comes to it, with how exactly the battles would work out and how many Pokemon you'd have in your team. Like, would it just be completely like open world? Like, how would the structure be? Because Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is like completely open, but then Super Mario Odyssey is not. So I think they're just talking about like an open-ended Pokemon game, because the Pokemon games are not really like that. They're kind of like scripted routes. They're even named that, right? Like route this, route that, and you kind of just go in that order. I mean, there are some secret areas here and there, but for the most part, you're sticking to the guided path in order to get to the next objective or the next gym. So having a completely open-ended one where you can kind of have no leaps or bounds or areas, you can just kind of explore at your free will, I think that would be really cool. I think that would be really cool, and you can just kind of go and gather Pokemon and just do all sorts of stuff. Maybe you can have some online co-op or meet up with other trainers. I mean, I think that really the sky's the limit, and there's a few franchises that Nintendo has that I feel that they haven't really reached their limit yet to what they can do, despite them having great success. I think Mario has done a lot of different things. I think Mario, for example, is at its pretty much peak, right? Like Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, Super Mario Odyssey, all of these games are at their peak, and I think that there's not like a ton that they can do more outside of just more great levels, better design, and all of those things. Where I think stuff like Legend of Zelda, I think Pokemon, I think there's just a lot of different franchises Nintendo has to where they can still improve a lot more than what they've done beforehand, in my opinion. Whereas Super Mario Odyssey is already freaking amazing, and whatever the next game is going to be, it's probably going to be great, but it's not going to be leaps and bounds better than what they've done before, because I don't think Super Mario Odyssey is leaps and bounds better than Super Mario Galaxy or something like that. Whereas I think Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is leaps and bounds better than the previous Zelda game. So to me, I always feel that Zelda and Pokemon can do a lot more to even be better than what they are. So I'm excited and looking forward to the future. I think Masuda and his team have a lot of different ammo they can work with now that they're on the Nintendo Switch. They've got all the horsepower that they need. I mean, going from the 3DS to a Nintendo Switch is like going from a Corolla to like maybe a Rolls Royce when it comes to power and stuff, man. So I think that it's really exciting to see what they have to say here, and I'm looking forward to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and I'm looking forward to the next Pokemon game and just seeing what they do. Maybe they do that Zelda type of game after 2019, maybe 2020 or 2021 we see that style of game. So what do you guys think about what he had to say here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the next topic here. This one is very interesting and also a bit funny too, because Koji Igarashi has talked about Castlevania being in Smash Brothers, and also Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, the forever delayed game that I'm still extremely excited about and still happy that I backed all of those years ago. So this was a recent interview at the Bit Summit Roadshow 2018 in Tokyo. It was conducted by Push Destin and some other associates there, and Source Gaming actually had this here. So I want to talk a little bit more about the questions and then get into Koji Igarashi's answers. So here was the first question. Simon and Richter were recently confirmed for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. How do you feel about that? Igarashi had this to say, which I found freaking hilarious. He says, my only complaint to Sakurai-san is, why didn't you do this when I was still there at Konami? And then everyone was laughing at that. The next question stated, were you consulted at all for their designs, moveset, or anything? Igarashi says, I was completely unrelated. They didn't ask me for anything. Well, he doesn't work for Konami anymore, so that makes sense. The next question was, what do you think about the designs? Do you think Sakurai did an excellent job, or is there something you would have changed? Igarashi said, I haven't played Smash Ultimate yet, so I can't really say anything, but I'm looking forward to trying it out myself. Moving on, Bloodstained was recently delayed. Do you have any comments about that? Here's what Igarashi had to say. I really do want it to come out quickly and for everyone to get their hands on it, but we got some feedback from the beta backers and we really want to satisfy them. So it's unfortunate, but we decided to delay it to next year. Now here was the next question. What was the issue? Was there a certain gameplay mechanic that wasn't working, or the level design? Here's what Igarashi had to say. The areas where we had the most feedback was the lip syncing and writing. It was kind of a special way that we did this, and we have to redo a lot of things, so that's unfortunate. It seems like the gameplay was solid, because I was wondering what was the problem, because I played the beta backer demo and all that, and I thought it was fantastic. Now, I'm not a huge stiffler when it comes to lip syncing and stuff like that, and to me, the story just needs to meet a minimum threshold of okay for me to just kind of forget about it unless it's truly memorable. So that's the reason why I probably didn't have anything to say, because I was so wrapped up in the gameplay and leveling and trying out the new stuff. I wasn't even worried about that stuff. But hey, there's that as well. So there you go. There's more stuff that he says in the interview. It's actually a fairly large interview. There's a lot of different things. So you guys can check out the link in the description below if you want to read the rest of it. But yeah, to Igarashi, man, I mean, obviously this whole Bloodstained thing has taken quite some time. And I was one of the original backers. I think back in 2014 or 2013. This game was supposed to come out in 2015. So it's been 3 years now. That'd be like, what, a 4-year delay? I'm pretty sure this game was supposed to come out in 2015 because I think it was a 2013 or something Kickstarter. But I feel that the scope of the game, because they weren't asking for more than $1 million. I think they were only asking for a couple 100,000 or a few 100,000, and they ended up getting like millions and millions and even more via PayPal. So I think as they got more money, they realized the pressure was stacking up to deliver a real Castlevania game. And even still at this point, we haven't had a new Castlevania game outside of that mobile game. So we haven't had a real new Castlevania game being announced. So I still think that pressure is there. And yes, they have the Rondo of Blood, Symphony of the Night, but those are games that people have already played. It's just coming out on the PlayStation 4 with Sony's team that did the emulation or whatever the case is. They're not new games. So we haven't had a new game since then. We haven't had a real new Castlevania console game since then. So I think the pressure is definitely there, but from what I've played, the gameplay is absolutely solid. I love the RPG mechanics. I love what they're doing there. They just need to, I guess, shore up the lip syncing and the story and the writing, so they have to redo a lot of stuff. So what do you guys think about what he had to say here about Super Smash Brothers, which I thought was really funny, and then also with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the last topic here, we have an announcement of a release date for BlazBlue Central Fiction Special Edition on the Nintendo Switch. This game is dropping this February. So the Tokyo Game Show 2018 announced BlazBlue Central Fiction Special Edition for the Nintendo Switch will launch on February 7th, 2019 in Japan. The latest issue of Weekly Famitsu has revealed BlazBlue Central Fiction Special Edition will include much of the downloadable content released for BlazBlue Central Fiction on other platforms. BlazBlue Central Fiction first launched for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 3 in October 2016, followed by the PC in April 2017. And I think the reason why I completely ignored this game, because it was October 2016, that was when the Nintendo Switch was being announced, and I was proceeding to get bodied in that live stream. So that's the reason why I wasn't paying attention to anything else, because I don't even remember when this game originally launched. But yeah, October 2016, that was pretty much Switch reveal month. The rumors leading into it were crazy. That was a crazy time in PlayerEssence history. That was a crazy time in internet history. I've never seen a console reveal be so hyped in my life. Like, this was the most hyped that I've ever seen a console reveal be. So it it was just crazy at that time. PC in April, I wasn't even paying attention at that point. April 2017, right? So if it was April 2017, that means we were still playing Legend of Zelda and all that. So I don't even remember covering this at all, at least the original when BlazBlue comes out, because I usually cover the BlazBlue games and everything, but I didn't even remember it. But it's cool that it's coming over to Switch. I know there was some people that wanted a regular BlazBlue type of game because Cross Tag Battle has BlazBlue characters, but it's not necessarily like BlazBlue with everything. I mean, there's some things that are here and there that are kind of the same. There's some moves obviously that are the same and stuff, but it's not BlazBlue. So to see Central Fiction come over is actually pretty cool, and that's good for just more fighting games on the Switch. I think the more fighting games that we get, especially these cool 2D anime fighters, the better, because they're actually really good games. BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle is really good. There's just too much DLC, and I'm waiting for like the official edition of the game or the complete edition of the game. So what do you guys think about all the different topics that we discussed here? I thought it was pretty interesting with what Matsuda had to say with the whole open world Zelda type of Pokemon game, and of course Koji Igarashi, what he had to say, and BlazBlue, of course. It's always good to hear about that. So let me know your thoughts on all this, comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages, and consider supporting PlayerEssence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube sponsorship. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.